Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight, RMB Namibia has provided Telecom Namibia with a 405 million Namibian dollar 7-year social loan to support the state-owned telecoms company's drive to modernize its infrastructure and expand affordable internet access across the country. Telecom Namibia CEO Stanley Shanapinda said the investment was tied directly to national development goals. Telecom's key objective is to ensure that every citizen can access and use entertainment, communication, information, education, commerce, and online health services through fast, reliable, and affordable internet, voice, and data connectivity. The strategy is closely aligned with Namibia's National Development Plan, making this transaction a direct investment in the country's socio-economic progress, he said. Namibia's digital infrastructure lags behind much of the continent. 11 of the country's 14 regions fall below the 95% broadband policy target, and Namibia ranks 22nd out of 47 sub-Saharan African nations for broadband speed, with a mean download rate of just 10.8 megabytes per second. Aging copper networks, limited fiber coverage, and heavy reliance on 2G and 3G technology continue to hold back access. The loan will fund two main projects: a fiber-to-the-home rollout targeting speeds of 25 megabytes per second and above, meeting the newly announced national minimum, and upgrades to mobile network base stations to support the shift from 2G to 3G to 4G and future 5G capability. Leonard Hamunyela, transactor at RMB Namibia, said the deal went beyond bricks and mortar infrastructure. This partnership with Telecom is more than just financing infrastructure. It is about enabling digital inclusion. Enhanced broadband and mobile connectivity will empower Namibians with improved access to essential services while strengthening the country's competitiveness in the digital economy, he said. Now, RMB structured the funding as a social loan under the Loan Market Association's Social Loan Principles, an internationally recognized framework for financing activity that delivers measurable social benefits. The loan is specifically aimed at narrowing the digital divide between urban and rural communities. Getting into our next story, Namibia stands at a critical juncture where conservation, industrial growth, and community development must be carefully balanced to secure sustainable and inclusive progress. Environment and Tourism Minister Indileni Daniel said at the National Conference on Community-Based Natural Resources Management this week. Now, addressing delegates under the theme Enhancing Governance for Optimized Community Benefits, Daniel highlighted the country's CBNRM program as one of Namibia's most successful conservation and development initiatives. CBNRM is a global example of how rural communities can sustainably manage natural resources while unlocking economic and tourism opportunities, she said. Currently, Namibia has 87 registered conservancies and 48 community forests, covering over 186,000 square kilometers, roughly 60.7% of all communal land, and supporting an estimated 244,587 residents. In 2025, communal conservancies generated over 109 million Namibian dollars, reflecting their growing contribution to both conservation and local livelihoods. Daniel said that the program traces its roots to the 1980s, when traditional leaders and local communities united to combat poaching. Over the decades, it has evolved into a nationally recognized government-supported initiative that now safeguards biodiversity, creates jobs, generates income, and improves livelihoods. The success of CBNRM demonstrates that conservation and development are not opposing forces, but mutually reinforcing pillars of sustainable growth, Daniel said, noting the remarkable recovery of iconic species such as elephants, cheetahs, and black rhinos. However, she warned that success should not breed complacency. Challenges persist, including weak governance and accountability in some conservancies, uneven benefit distribution, human-wildlife conflict, and external pressures against Namibia's science-based hunting practices. Communities must see real, tangible benefits from conservancies, and governance must be strengthened where it is weak, Daniel said. Our policies must remain grounded in science, evidence, and national interest. She stressed that the program's achievements are built on strong partnerships between government, communities, civil society, the private sector, and traditional authorities, a model she said other countries could emulate. As Namibia continues to grow, the minister said ensuring that conservation and development work hand in hand will be crucial to sustaining both the environment and community prosperity. Getting into our next story, the Namibia Grape Company has handed over 70 Ecosan waterless toilets to residents of Alzenkirk in a sanitation project valued at $1.866 million Namibian dollars. The initiative, supported by the Waitrose Foundation, will be maintained by the Alzenkirk Village Foundation and is expected to reduce reliance on unsafe sanitation practices in the area significantly. Grape Company Managing Director Gideon Nunyango said the waterless composting toilets offer a practical solution for communities where conventional sewer systems are not viable. Nunyango added that a waterless composting toilet is an innovative sanitation solution that operates entirely without water, using air and wind to manage waste. Let's take a look at this next video.
We are here today to hand over the toilet to the beneficiary, Antonio Ganjala. The toilet was built by Namibia Grape Company, and once we hand over to the owner today, we will also hand over to the Alzenkirk Foundation. Then they will be taking over the toilet. Thank you, and here we are going to cut the ribbon to check inside. Really? Okay, we are going to open your facility. Once you don't hold it. Then you will see how it looks inside. This is how it looks. This is how it looks. It's a special toilet that is not using water, it's using air or windy. No water, no nothing, but very clean, proper. Special all the way from South Africa.
Naam is Antonia Ganjala. Ek is 'n werknemer van Namibia Grape Company en ek is een van die beneficiaries van die toilet project, sanitation project. Hierdie fasiliteit vir ons, vir my en vir die hele Alzenkirk beteken baie, omdat dit vir ons dignify en dit is tog iets wat ons nodig gehad het, omdat dit 'n plaas omgewing is, het baie van die mense nie vir hulle toilette gemaak nie. Anders het tog hulle se toiletjies by die huis gemaak, makeshift things, maar hierdie projek, alles dit nie klaar nie. Ons is baie dankbaar dat ons dit gekry het as werknemers van Namibia Grape Company en geheel die hele Alzenkirk, omdat dit vir ons tog dignify. My boodskap aan die community van Alzenkirk is dat ons ownership van die toilette moet vat en dat ons agter die toilet of dat ons om die toilette moet kyk sodat ander wat ook sulke projekte in die future het vir ons dit kan doen. Soos ons die training gekry het hoe om dit te gebruik om net by die rules van die training te hou, dat ons nou, omdat dit 'n airbound toilet is, nie water ingooi nie, dat dit op die langer duur sustainable en vir ons kan wees. Ek sal vir die company net sê baie dankie vir die plowback aan ons as werkers. 'n Mens kan ook sê dit is een van die benefits wat jy nie sien nie, die unseen benefits wat ons terugkry van hulle af. So ons is baie dankbaar daaroor.
Now, the Development Bank of Namibia today launched its DBN for Her initiative at Drombos and Windhoek, aimed at addressing funding gaps faced by women-owned businesses. Deputy Director of Cash and Debt Management Salome Idenga delivered the keynote on behalf of the Minister of Finance, pointing out that women entrepreneurs remain underfunded due to structural barriers, limited access to collateral, and persistent risk perceptions. She revealed that DBN has supported 447 fully women-owned businesses and 916 partially women-owned enterprises to date, yet these account for only 14.12% of the bank's total funding allocation.
Financial product but it is a deliberate strategic intervention which is aimed, as already indicated, at correcting a structural imbalance within our community and ensuring that no Namibian woman is left behind. So, Development Bank of Namibia is entrusted with the mandate for a strategic economic transformation, and I'm happy here today to witness this positive testimony. Namibia's financial sector has over time demonstrated a persistent gap in access to finance, and that speaks to the statistic that we have been shown. Women-owned enterprises, despite their resilient and growth contribution to economic activity, remains underfunded due to structural barriers, historical limitation in access to collateral, and long-standing persistence of risk. These realities we cannot ignore if we are serious about inclusive development. Ladies and gentlemen, available data, as also illustrated on the presentation that was done, illustrate the need of this urgent intervention. So while 447 fully owned women-owned businesses and 916 partially owned businesses by women have been supported by DBN to date, they have accounted only for 14.12% of the total funding allocation that DBN have done over the years. These figures are not merely statistics, they are a reflection of a gap that must be addressed with interventions such as this one that we are launching here today. At the same time, we must acknowledge that Namibia have over the years invested significantly with an effort in addressing the barriers that are faced by women in businesses through policies, programs, and targeted interventions.
United PayPoint and Strictly Local Namibia have officially launched the Strictly Local Namibia Music and Entertainment live show today in Windhoek. This is a new initiative aimed at celebrating and promoting Namibian entertainers. The platform is described as one of the first of its kind, focused on restoring live performance culture while building a sustainable ecosystem for Namibia's creative industry. The first live show is scheduled for the 27th of March 2026 at the Thuringerhof Hotel, being headlined by Sally Boss Madame alongside a full band. Speaking at the launch, PayPoint Public Relations Officer Shea Ulenga said, United PayPoint and Strictly Local Namibia present to you music and entertainment. It's a monthly live show designed to celebrate and promote Namibian music and entertainers. Let's take a look.
Industries. Perhaps even being able to buy your tickets from now on our PayPoint app. United PayPoint is presenting Strictly Local Namibia music and entertainment. It's a monthly live show designed to celebrate and promote Namibian entertainers. Each month, Strictly Local Namibia will feature an entertainer of the month whose brand, entertainment catalog, and story will be amplified across radio and television platforms. Their live performances will be professionally produced by United PayPoint to broadcast radio episodes on the National Broadcasting Corporation. Strictly Local Namibia presents one of the first of its kind models aimed at restoring live performance culture and creating a sustainable ecosystem for the Namibian creative industry. The first live show, scheduled to take place this Friday, the 27th of March, here at the Thuringerhof Hotel. The show will be headlined by none other than Sally Boss Madame, alongside a full band. All right, so thank you very much. We are really proud to have established this platform as well as this initiative, and are looking forward to host quite a number of fans in our courtyard here at the Thuringerhof Hotel. I do not have to really introduce her. I think most of us in this room might be very familiar with Sally Boss Madame, but I'd also like to give her this opportunity.
Our Community Talk segment is coming up after the break. Stick around.
Welkom by Agri Monitor, die hart van landbounuus in Namibia. Ek is Jacques de Tooy en ek is julle aanbieder. Kyk die program op DStv kanaal 285 of op GoTV op kanaal 25. Die program verskyn elke Dinsdag aand om 8:30, Woensdag 1:00 die middag en Sondag 7:00 die oggend. Skakel in en ons gesels saam. Sien julle daar.
Tonight in our Community Talk segment, Namibian police force members from Dama Police Station in Rundu have made a major breakthrough in apprehending a suspect linked to housebreaking incidents in the location. According to Nampol's Crime Investigations Coordinator for the Kavango East region, Bonifacius Kanyetu, an operation was launched to apprehend the suspects. Dama Police Station Commander Veiko Sikeso said the suspect was arrested early this morning at 4 a.m., while 2 other known suspects managed to escape. Many household items believed to have been stolen were recovered at the suspect's residence. The police urged members of the public to report any suspicious activity in their community.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm excited now. What's happening behind here is the directive that was given, that has been complied with. As you know, that these past days, there was an increase on housebreaking cases where suspect invaded members' houses of our community and stole property thereout. And the directive was then given so that we can at least carry on with intensive crime prevention. And that was at least given to all stations. You see, my station commander of Dama here is one of the persons that have now complied to the directive given. We directed all the station commanders to go down into our community, collaborate, get stakeholders, and find out where are these articles that is being stolen on a daily basis out of houses of people going to. And the community of Ndama
Now let's get into our economic news. Namibia Breweries Limited has advised its shareholders that operating profit for the year ended 31 December 2025 is expected to decrease by between 10 and 15% relative to the previously reported 18-month financial period, according to a trading statement issued by the company. The decline, however, is largely a function of reporting period length rather than underlying business performance. NBL reported its 2024 financial results over 18 months from the 1st of July 2023 to the 31st of December 2024 instead of the usual 12 months after changing its fiscal year and following a merger in April of 2023. NBL posted an operating profit of 896 million Namibian dollars for the 18 months ended December 2024. Headline earnings per share and basic earnings per share are also expected to decrease, though by less than 5%, when comparing the current 12-month period to the prior 18-month period. Now let's take a look at the financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 22.68 against the British pound, 19.63 to the euro, 16.91 against the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 45 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. All commodities are up, with platinum taking the biggest hike and now trading at $1,951 and 13 cents per ounce. Stay with us. Right after the break, we bring you our international news.
Business First Africa is a forward-looking business show that goes beyond balance sheets to capture how Africans are building, creating, and living. Afrotech explores innovation, AI, and digital systems shaping the continent's economies. Brave and Building profiles Namibian entrepreneurs and businesses transforming industries and urban spaces. Creative Capital spotlights creatives and the creative economy, unpacking how culture becomes value. Africa in 10 delivers a sharp roundup of key developments across the continent. Don't miss Business First Africa, because it's not just business, it's life.
Tonight in international news, South African anti-graft investigators have arrested 12 senior police officers on allegations of corruption and fraud, prosecutors said Wednesday. The officers appeared later in a court in the capital, Pretoria. The arrests come while an inquiry continues into allegations of high-ranking corruption in the South African police. The inquiry was ordered by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who also suspended the police minister last year. A second inquiry by Parliament is also looking at claims that senior police officers had corrupt relationships with alleged crime bosses and in some cases allegedly received money from them for favors. The arrest of the 12 officers relates to an allegedly corrupt contract to provide health and well-being services to police officers, the National Prosecuting Authority's Anti-Corruption Investigative Unit said in a statement. It said a 13th person, the director of a company, was also arrested. The police officers made their first court appearance on Wednesday alongside Vusimuzi Kat Matlala, the owner of the Medicare 24 company that was awarded the contract, who is suspected of links to organized crime. Matlala is currently being held in a maximum security prison on unrelated charges of attempted murder. All the officers submitted affidavits in support of their bail applications, and prosecutors indicated to the Pretoria Magistrates Court that they would not be opposing their bail. Some of the officers arrested were part of the bid committee that evaluated and awarded the contract, and prosecutors alleged on Wednesday that they should have disqualified the company's application. That brings us to the end of our international news segment. Now let's take a look at the weather predictions. Showers are expected in most parts of the country. Ruacana will be expecting maximum temperatures of 29 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures of 19 degrees Celsius. Here in Windhoek, some partly cloudy conditions are to be expected. Maximum temperatures will be at 27 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures will be at 18 degrees Celsius. Looking over at the coast in Walvis Bay, maximum temperatures are expected to hit 26 degrees Celsius and to drop to 19 degrees Celsius. In Ariamsvlei, some showers are expected, though maximum temperatures are going to be blazing. It will be 31 degrees Celsius maximum and 22 degrees Celsius minimum. And with that, we have come to the end of the broadcast. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.